What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, and you know I have another banger for y'all today. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. Now, we know we have seen the ups and the downs of the Indiana Fever. We have seen this team start off 1-8. We've seen them win 4 straight. We have seen them face some of the titans of the WNBA, and I'm here to tell you I think this Olympic break will be the most beneficial to the Fever more than any team in the league. Playing 8 games in 11 days is nuts, but they are building momentum. Yeah, I know they just got smacked up by the Aces, but they also were coming into the game beating the Phoenix Mercury, a game that people were counting them out in, a game where they finally beat a plus 500 team, man. They are building momentum. We've seen the flashes. We know what's wrong. We know what's right. We're going to break it down. But before we get into all of that, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. Join our memberships. We have that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
The Fever, I think it's worth noting, have played the most games in the WNBA so far. 21 games already. And they have battled through it, man. They've played some of the toughest competition, the Las Vegas Aces, the New York Liberty, the Connecticut Sun. We've seen Caitlin Clark deal with so much criticism. She didn't really get a break. She went from college straight to the WNBA season, even considered Olympic trials. But I think we can genuinely say she has continued to get better each and every game. Now, they sit at the 9 spot. They're one spot behind those Chicago Sky. The Rookie of the Year race has been brutal between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I think it could come down to being the closest Rookie of the Year race we've ever seen in WNBA history, and it all could come down to which team makes the playoffs. The Fever y'all know, y'all have been on the videos. We've seen so much from Christy Sides being a terrible coach, starting 1-8 in her second year, to Aaliyah Boston being out of shape this season, not coming back right. We're looking for Rookie of the Year, Aaliyah Boston. It took her about 14 games to get back right. We've seen Celeste Taylor, possibly the best on-ball perimeter defender on this team, be waived. We've seen Grace Berger get benched. We've seen Christy Wallace start way too many games. Now, I think the most beneficial thing about this break for the Fever will be the chemistry building. Caitlin Clark is a special talent with elite passing ability, and it kind of reminds you of when Magic Johnson first got to the Lakers, where they weren't ready for the type of passes he was throwing. We've seen her get 3 to 4 turnovers a game just off drop passes. So the fact that they will have a break to get some serious work in on the court amongst each other, I think will be extremely beneficial. This team has performed. They've shown potential and an ability to score with some of the teams, for some of the league's best. On the year, looking at it, Kelsey Mitchell continues to lead this group. She doesn't do anything but score the basketball. I don't know if I've seen a more one-dimensional player, but she is leading the team in scoring, rightfully so, at 16.6 points per game. You look at Caitlin Clark, her scoring has had to take a back seat to her assist, her playmaking, because this team desperately needed a playmaker. She's averaging a second team high 16 points. She's also averaging 5.7 rebounds and a whopping 7.1 assists. She's leading all rookies in three-point made, and she's also leading in assists. I also think the steals, 1.3 steals and almost a block per game. She is playing her best defense that we've seen in her entire career because she's not having to carry so much of the scoring load. Aaliyah Boston continues to improve, man. I know she's still a young player. We were hard on her. She came in out of shape. She won Rookie of the Year and then solely focused her attention on her second career being an analyst. So far, though, her and Caitlin have been a dynamic 1-2 punch in the wins for the Fever, the 8 that they have. Boston is averaging 13.3 points per game, 8.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, being a capable passer out of the post. She's gotten so much better making decisions in the two-man game, being a pick-and-pop player. She's extended her range to the 3, and she's also been the best defensive big they have, leading the team with 1.2 blocks. NaLyssa Smith is the fourth and final player in double figures, averaging 11.5 points, 7.8 rebounds, but we know, and a block as well. But we know her defense has been extremely suspect in some major games. I don't know if I've seen a player have as much lack of defensive awareness than I've seen with NaLyssa Smith. We continue to see Christy Wallace. We continue to see Erica Wheeler, the vets, who have played better. But it feels like Christy Wallace is more so focused on getting them minutes than actually developing the young talent and seeing the best lineup for this group. We've seen Teamy come back from injury. She's a warrior. Getting much time for Caitlin, who is playing a lot of minutes to get some rest, but also get some meaningful practice time and chemistry building with her team. 8 games in 11 days, guys. I think coming out of the Olympic break, we will see this team refueled. We will see this team starting to win games. They have a big one on Sunday against the New York Liberty. But after that, like when the Olympic break does start, I think they come out with fresh legs. I think we see more of Lexi Hull, who should be in the starting lineup. They did move Carly Lou Samuelson into the starting lineup last game and got Christy Wallace the hell up out of there finally. So we did see a difference there. And honestly, her shooting has been disappointing. She's been one of the best three-point shooters, but the last 3 games it's been extremely down. We know they cut Celeste Taylor for Dantas, and we still, like, she played last game and didn't do much of anything. We still haven't seen the benefits of adding her to the roster, to be honest with y'all, man. I think it was just a huge mistake. As soon as they cut Celeste Taylor, we saw Jewell Loyd go for 34 with Christy Wallace guarding her. I'm hoping Christy Wallace is out of this lineup and they continue to go with Carly or go with Lexi Hull, man, who has been a reliable three-point shooter at 38.6 per game for the most part. She is a lockdown defender, made things hard on Jewell Loyd. She's got length, and she's just the best option, I think, at the 3 for them. I've been critical of Kelsey Mitchell. I don't think she's the long-term answer, but as far as like a backcourt mate for Caitlin, but also we don't have anybody else that can fill that role that she's filling right now. It's just an elite scorer, which I think would be better served off the bench. You think of the Malik Monks, the Jamal Crawfords of the world, the real 6 players of the year that can provide instant offense, and that is Kelsey Mitchell, man. But we will continue to watch out, man. I know also recently Caitlin Clark was named to the All-Star team, and we'll get a chance to get her revenge on the Olympic team.
Like, I don't think I've ever been her teammate before, even with USA basketball or anything like that. So I know people are going to be really excited about it, but I hope it doesn't take away from everybody else. Like, this is a huge accomplishment for everybody on Team USA and everybody on Team WNBA. Like, they all deserve the same praise. Like, I don't want it to take away from any of that and just be the focal point of All-Star Weekend, because that's not fair to them. And, you know, obviously this is something that's really hard to accomplish. So the best we can celebrate all of them will be great. And just going to obviously soak in the experience, because like, you never know if you're ever going to be able to get back there. And it'll be fun for all of us.
I'm excited to see her and Angel Reese pair up. I think Reese is the perfect big for Clark. She runs the floor, she catches it, and she is ready to finish immediately. But as far as this team being benefited by the break, I think they will come back with a new fire, a better chemistry, a better understanding of each other's games. This is a very young team for overall look at it as an outlook of the roster. I don't think Christy Sods is the long-term answer, though. They've got to figure something out to get her up out of there, because she is just not doing it. But I think they are following the same game plan, the same foundation that the Aces did, stacking those picks and developing a young core. So I like the direction the Fever are going in, and I do think they have a good chance of securing that 8th seed in the playoffs with this break to just refuel, refocus, and come out amped up. I think it will be really beneficial for Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston to continue to work on that 2-player game that we've seen that has been super effective. Gives Teamy a chance to get healthy. It gives Dantas a chance to get more acclimated possibly. And I'm looking for Erica Wheeler to continue that hot shooting, because the way she's getting paid, she's robbing the bank, y'all. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments about this entire thing. Like I said, I don't think there's a team that's going to benefit more from the break than the Fever, playing the most games, playing 8 in 11 days, playing a lot of the top competition early in the season. I think they come back refueled and ready to play and ready to really make a legit playoff run. But y'all holler at me in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about the situation. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, hey, we out.